Hi guys, welcome back to EDDBUD shoe and running gear reviews. Today we have a special 100-mile update on the Nike Pegasus Turbo. So I picked up the Pegasus Turbo a couple of months ago now and finally hit 100 miles in it. I found this a really fantastic shoe. Going to give you my honest opinion and views on this great training shoe. So first up, the fit and feel of the Pegasus Turbo. I have to report, this is a true to size shoe for me. Some people have experienced the Pegasus Turbo being a little tight, a little narrow, and commented that they may need to size up. I've had none of those issues, I have to report. I'm a UK size 11, that's a US size 12, and I found that there's loads of room in the toe box here. I've had no issues. I haven't had any problems with the racing stripe kind of feeling like it's rubbing on my toes. None of that issue. Certainly feels like it's nice and locked down with the fly wires. And no problems here at the very end of the shoe in the heel cup area. Really great, a great shoe in terms of comfort. Comes highly recommended from me. The tongue, it's nicely padded. I haven't had any issues with it rubbing on the sort of upper part of my ankle. No issues. I've taken it on some longer runs, sort of 10, 12 miles, at some good paces, and had no issues there. So certainly in terms of the fit and the feel of the shoe, highly recommended. In terms of the outsole, obviously this shoe has some significant differences to the Pegasus 35. You have a Zoom X and React midsole here. They're kind of sandwiched together. There was a little bit of confusion about this shoe when it first released, whether the midsole was completely Zoom X or part of it was Zoom X, part of it was React. It's clear now that the upper part of the midsole is Zoom X, which is the foam found on the Vaporfly 4%, and the bottom section is that more hard-wearing, that slightly firmer React material. In terms of running in this thing, I've tried running at all sorts of different paces, doing some easier runs, doing some faster interval work and some tempo runs, and this thing can do pretty much anything that you throw at it. I've been very impressed. I've used it in some, certainly some drier conditions. I've used it on some almost trail-like tracks. I've used it in some very wet conditions. A couple of weeks ago on a club run, we went on on a very wet run there, and this thing does great. I can't really find anything that it can't do at the moment. It's got some great traction on the bottom of the shoe. It really does feel like it's gripping the road or the track underneath you. I really haven't found anything at all with this shoe that I don't like. I was very lucky to pick it up for a considerable amount under the normal retail price from a national dealer. So in terms of value, I think for me this is a great value shoe. I would certainly recommend trying it out before. I think I'd recommend trying out any shoe before you buy it. We're all different. Everybody has different foot dimensions. Everybody's looking for something different in their shoes, but I certainly would recommend trying it out first if you're going to pay retail for it. If you get a good deal online, perhaps take a chance if you can send it back. But it's an expensive shoe, but one which does pretty much everything. Bit of a Swiss Army shoe. Some interesting features of the Nike Zoom Pegasus Turbo. A lot of people have commented on this rather strange kind of area at the back of the shoe where the midsole seems to sort of wrap around the heel. It does appear as though it's to help with the stability of the shoe here at the very back at the heel cup. It does feel like a very stable shoe. I don't think there's a single time where I've felt unstable in this shoe, regardless of whether I'm on flat ground, going up some hills, doing some hill work, or going down hills. There's a quite considerable hill here in Somerset, the Oval Somerset, that I go down quite often. Never feel as if I'm unstable at all going down that hill. As you can see, in comparison perhaps to the Vaporfly 4% or the Zoom Fly, there's a considerable outsole. It is much wider than those shoes. You certainly feel that in the toe box area as well. It feels like there's lots of room in this shoe for your foot. It doesn't feel as if you're enclosed in whatsoever. In terms of lacing, you do have the fly wire system here as per the Pegasus 35. No real issues with that. I've certainly been using a sort of runner's knot at the very top of the shoe, and I've not had no issues at all with laces coming undone. The fit feels locked down and it doesn't really change. You can just kind of lock it in there, go out on your long run, and it's not going to give you any major problems. It's starting to get warmer here in the UK, and with that obviously we start thinking about whether our shoes are breathable. What's the breathability of this shoe like? Well, I'd say it's not the best. It's not the most breathable shoe. I certainly feel that the Zoom Flyknit, Vaporfly, Flyknit, they both have much better breathability than the Pegasus Turbo. You've got this kind of mesh material. I'll throw some close-ups onto the screen for you, and yeah, it's breathable, but I'd say my foot is starting to get a little warmer now as the temperatures are rising. Today we've had temperatures around about 16 degrees centigrade, so it's starting to warm up, and that could be a problem, I guess, as we progress through spring and into the summer. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed my 100-mile review of the Nike Zoom Pegasus Turbo. It's a very fast shoe. It can, I feel, be a slower shoe as well if you need it to be. A good all-round training shoe that you can use. I guess you could race in this as well. It could be used as a racing shoe. I don't see any reason why not. If you've got any comments, please add those. I'll be really interested to see them. Please subscribe and like the video if you've enjoyed this review. I'll catch you soon. Be seeing you.